Pete Hegseth has a tattoo on his arm. It reads, Deus Vult, Latin for God wills it. It was the battle cry of the First Crusade, the call that sent armies into the Middle East in 1096 to take the Holy Land by force. 930 years later, Pete Hegseth is the Secretary of Defense of the United States, and he is using the same words. At a Pentagon prayer service in March 2026, Hegseth stood before military personnel and prayed, out loud, on government property, for what he called overwhelming violence against America's enemies. He read from a Bible, the same Bible that bears the images of the two Crusader symbols tattooed on his body. He asked God to break the teeth of the ungodly. He called on Americans to kneel daily and pray for military victory in the name of Jesus Christ. Then, on Easter Sunday, when a downed American pilot was rescued from Iran, Hegseth stood at a Pentagon podium and framed it as a resurrection. The pilot's F-15 was shot down on Good Friday. He spent the night hiding in a crevice. Hegseth compared that crevice to the tomb of Christ. This is the man running the most powerful military in the history of the world. Now meet the man on the other side of this argument, Pope Leo XIV. The first American-born pope in the history of the Catholic Church. On Palm Sunday, standing before tens of thousands of people in St. Peter's Square, the Pope delivered a direct response. He didn't name Hegseth. He didn't have to. Jesus is the King of Peace, he said, who rejects war, whom no one can use to justify war. He does not listen to the prayers of those who wage war. He rejects them. On Easter morning, the Pope delivered his message to the world. Let those who have weapons lay them down. Let those who have the power to unleash wars choose peace. This isn't a political disagreement. This is a theological one. And it isn't just the Pope who's pushing back. Archbishop Timothy Broglio leads the Archdiocese for the Military Services. He ministers to the Catholic soldiers actually fighting this war. He was asked directly whether the Iran conflict meets Catholic just war criteria. His answer, under just war theory, no. He added that it is hard to cast this war as something that would be sponsored by the Lord. That's the most conservative Catholic archbishop in the United States military. Not a liberal, not a protester, the man who serves the troops. And then there's the Pentagon's response to the Pope. A senior Pentagon official summoned the Vatican's U.S. representative to a closed-door meeting. The message delivered was this: the United States has the military power to do whatever it wants in the world. The Catholic Church had better take its side. The official also brought up the Avignon Papacy, the 14th century period when the French monarchy forced the Catholic Church into submission and the Pope was essentially held captive. The Vatican was alarmed enough that Pope Leo canceled his planned visit to the United States. Here's what's worth sitting with. Pete Hegseth belongs to a denomination that calls the separation of church and state a left-wing myth. He has said the United States remains a Christian nation in its DNA. Meanwhile, the government he serves threatened the leader of 1.4 billion Christians for saying that Jesus wouldn't approve of this war. 1 in 3 Americans is not Christian. The State Department's official account declared Christian theology factually correct on Easter Sunday. Passover got happy holidays. The cast changes. The script stays the same. When governments start telling religions which side God is on, history has a word for that too. If this pattern is worth understanding, like this video and subscribe. Every video connects another dot. And if this one made you think, share it with someone who needs to see it.